I'm Kristen.
I'm Jared.
Kehl, and we moved into this neighborhood a couple years ago, and when we bought the house, the backyard was pretty small, and we decided, we had two small kids, that we wanted to kind of make an investment and try to extend the backyard and take advantage of the space. So we originally had used a contractor that was recommended to us by the builder. So we were very naive, and we didn't go forward and check references or check if he had a license or insurance or anything, if he was on the up and up, because it seemed like a reputable referral. So months go by. Apparently he had never gotten permits with the town. What other major
We did call and check on it, and they said that he requested them, but he never went forward.
He never picked him up. So everything, all of a sudden, work only happened on the weekends, and we didn't know why, but apparently you're not allowed to work during the week because the town is driving around checking. One of the dirt haulers showed up at the door to talk to Jared to say that he'd never been paid, which we were shocked because we kept piling over checks, every week, every couple weeks, we're giving more money. So then finally we start realizing we need to look into this more. And I had called the engineer. Turns out that the engineers had never been paid.
It's just an ugly situation where, we kind of just trusted somebody thinking that, hey, this is their expertise, this is what they do. Like Kristen said, they're referred by our builder because they did work for them. So we kind of just assumed, well, we don't really have to check up on him because he does work for the builder. I would imagine the builder would do all that.
When we started trying to find someone else to come and just finish the project, I mean, as you can imagine, a lot of people didn't even want to touch it. A lot of people just saw this as a disaster and didn't want to get involved and kind of blew us off, or kind of just start telling us, sue this person. But the reality was, we want a backyard. It is now dirt, at this point. Our retaining wall is maybe 3/4 finished. Our kids can't go out there. It's just a death trap. So oddly, I had called Metrosgreenscapes in the beginning, way before we had gotten this referral from the builder. And the price quote at that time was just something we weren't prepared for. And it was also our first quote. So we were like, no, we can't do this. And of course, when we got the favor from the other guy, it was a much lower quote. And apparently they don't charge much to do nothing. So we've learned that lesson. We need someone who has something to lose, who is gonna wanna do this job right. So I called them with my tail between my legs to say, yes, we talked to you months ago, and yes, I realize this project would have been done in 2 weeks had we just originally gone with you, but this is where we are now. But they were great. I mean, right from the beginning, they were sympathetic to the cause, and Darren came out personally to say, hey, we hate when this kind of stuff happens. This looks bad on all of us, and unfortunately I hear these stories all the time. And he even said that his best customers, unfortunately, are people that have had these kind of experiences, because you realize a little bit more where the value lies, and you're not trying to save $100 here, $100 there, when you realize the cost of it all. So they were really comforting in the fact that they knew what they were talking about. They did not look at this like this was a big, overwhelming project that they couldn't handle. They gave us back that confidence at a point where we were just flailing, having no idea where to go from there.
And he even told us, he really walked us through the process of, this is what you kind of should do when you're hiring somebody. Things like, check to see if their license is up to date in the state that you're in, and that kind of stuff. All the way to the point of call the vendors that we use, call them and see if they get paid on time and things like that. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. That's a great, if someone's that confident, we did. We called some vendors and said, hey, what do you think about Metrosgreenscapes? And they're like, oh yeah, we have no problem with them. We use them all. They use us all the time, and everything goes real smooth and this and that. And so, I mean, if someone's not getting paid, they're not going to say that.
We had no complaints with them coming here. They were constantly communicating with us, giving us updates on when things were going to get done, when things weren't going to get done, giving us explanations for, days when things did get delayed. Of course, we had some delays on our side, HOA stuff, and they were completely, understanding of all that. when they were here, it was a very professional crew. It was the same people all the time too, so we didn't ever worry if these were just random people, you know, picked up on a street corner to work, or if these were actually people part of their company. So that was really nice.
I would definitely refer Metrosgreenscape to anybody I knew. You know, it's, you know, if someone even just asked me, hey, you know, do you happen to know anybody that can do, you know, any kind of landscaping or, you know, large projects or whatever, I would definitely say, you know, Metrosgreenscapes, give them the call, because, you know, and, you know, with their hands-on, the touch, making sure that you feel comfortable, and they understand that there's going to be some riffraff out there, and that's, you know, it's gonna happen. And I know that's part of the story we told you about Darren saying, you know, it makes us look bad because now we have to, like, you know, walk on eggshells because of someone else.
I mean, the progress, the job itself, I mean, it turned out how we had expected it to turn out in the beginning. I mean, it looks great, everything's functioning, and we love it. Granted, we had sod then, so we couldn't go out on it for like 3 or 4 weeks, which was painful, but yeah, I mean, it looks good, and we're happy, because it's what we wanted.